web. Welcome back to the Hangin with Web show right here on HWWS WebTV. I'm GW Pomichter, and we are hanging with authors all day today. And right now we are hanging with the one and only Margaret Steciuk. Yes?
Well done.
All right, not bad. There we go, guys. Margaret is the author of Shoreview and Conservative Challenge. Okay, where to begin? Well, let's begin with your journey as an author. How long have you been writing?
Oh, I've been writing for probably most of my life. I started writing poetry when I was 7 or 8. And of course, my mother loved the poetry, so that kind of encouraged me to keep writing. This is a book that was published called Mining Archived ITS Data from Multidimensional Analysis. This was my dissertation.
Of course.
Of course. What else? And it's really about the analysis of crashes on the interstate using some, standard, different multidimensional ways to analyze data.
Wow.
So
that's pretty heady stuff.
It's pretty intense.
That's
yeah.
pretty heady stuff. Look, I'm strange. I actually, through college, I loved mathematics. From calculus to physics and trig. But my least favorite mathematics is statistics for that reason. Because just the title of the book is scary. This is a horror novel.
I didn't sell too many of them,
This is wow, look at that. Mining archived ITS data for multidimensional analysis. Wow. First of all, if you can use the word archiving and mining in the same sentence with the words dimensional and analysis, dude, okay, that's some crazy stuff right there. Wow, and that was for your dissertation.
Right. Yes.
May I ask what your field of endeavor is? That your dissertation was that.
So the terminology that they used on the dissertation was information science. And they have since changed that rubric to informatics at the University of Albany, where I did
Y'all just make up words.
Yep, pretty much.
Like those words aren't confusing enough. You had to make up a new one. Good job. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are you working on now?
So I've got.
I gotta know where it goes from there.
I'm trying to go to a lighter side of life. We moved to Florida down here, and we live on the island, and we consider ourselves kind of island people. We rented a place.
Everyone over there considers themselves island people. They don't even talk to us.
That's
they don't
right.
even wave from their docks.
You guys are over the bridge.
Yeah, we're over here.
So
See, this is why we have to get together at conferences, because they won't come over if you don't throw a conference.
That's right. I wouldn't. That's right. I wouldn't be on the mainland. Oh gosh. Well, we've lived at a place called Shoreview for 3 years while we were trying to find a place to buy, and the characters at Shoreview are hilarious. So I thought. Every day I think, oh my gosh, I'm just going to have that as part of the show, I'd like to write kind of a screenplay, and I would think of it as kind of little TV skits, little half-hour, 20-minute TV skits.
Oh, that's awesome.
From, or you'll walk from like the pool to the beach, and just all this stuff happens between people, and it's hilarious.
I always love, first of all, I love comedy and sort of observational humor that is based in that daily life, slice of life moment.
You've got it, exactly.
Because so much life is you're working and you're studying and there's all this massive drama piled on to all of the things we do in life, but those tiny moments of levity, walking to the pool, going to the grocery store, the people you interact with, those tiny moments of levity, it sort of makes everything else from the rest of the day dissolve for just a moment.
Exactly.
And
And I'd love to be able to capture that, because people, get so stressed out, and everybody's working too hard and too many jobs, and
There's
just
so much going on, and we do this. I mean, we do it to ourselves. We really do. We're kind of work and play junkies, man. We're out there always finding something to keep us busy.
something
to do. And those moments in transition, though, when humor happens and conversations between people that both amuse and enlighten you at the same time sometimes. Amazing stuff. So give us, now guys, you're going to have to wait till the screenplay is done until she starts working on this, but give us an anecdote. Give us one moment in transition that inspired you. Something that we can look forward to seeing in the screenplay.
Okay, I don't know if I should use real names, and I still haven't decided that
the
yet.
names on this program have not been changed, so if you're innocent, tough shit.
Just too bad.
Sorry.
Yeah, right now I'm
that
going to use the real names.
Yeah, no, we're not going to use real names. We'll just call them, John and Mary.
They're
okay?
fake names.
They're
yeah.
fake names. We're going to call them by fake names.
So I'll relate a really cute little story about something that could only happen on the beach.
My first job in the newspaper business, by the way, was to cover the beaches beat for Hometown News.
Oh, right.
So I spent my days and my nights beachside, from Melbourne Beach all the way up to Patrick Air Force Base.
I read that every week.
And so it is a unique and very interesting community to be a part of. It really is. And what I love is that we pick on them over there on the beach because they have everything they need over there. They have got grocery stores, they have everything. So they really don't have to come mainland side. So we pick on them because they don't. But really, they don't have to. And do you go any place that you don't have to go? I didn't think so. But there's also a very open community and a very welcoming community. And I felt very, very at home covering my beat on the beaches. So it's a very close-knit and welcoming home community.
And caring. People care about each other.
They do.
That's where all these little stories kind of, everybody's kind of intertwined a little bit.
And don't try to count the number of golf carts. It's impossible. You need to know this
Yeah, I
stuff.
gotta have that.
That's right. Wow, never thought that would be a handy prop. Okay, all right, go ahead. Please.
So a friend of ours has a young son, and obviously he's a little older now, but he was about 10 years old, and I saw your son walking around here with his Spider-Man costume on.
Oh,
I
yes.
go, are you Spider-Man? Why are you up on the ceiling? He goes, I wish. But the kid was crawling, we were out on the beach, everybody's hanging out and talking, and the kids started crawling like a turtle and taking the sand and throwing. Have you seen the turtles when they come up?
When they kick
They kick sand over themselves to kind of hide themselves while they're laying their eggs. And it was just so funny to see a little 10-year-old like crawling really slow and throwing sand on his back.
Nice.
Something that would never happen
Like,
anywhere else.
There were all these, and the nice thing is that somewhere in the background of this scene that she just set, there are all we're in Florida, which means that we have a very large tourist population, and our beaches that's where we draw a lot of people to. Mm-hmm. So there are a bunch of people from New Jersey sitting about a half a block away, watching this kid throw sand on his back. And they're trying to figure out what is wrong with him.
What is wrong with this child?
What's wrong with that kid? And they're trying to figure out what's wrong with Margaret because she's sitting next door laughing her
laughing.
bloody mind off. And they're going, wow, these people are really strange. But I will say, they're saying all of that when they have their socks pulled up to here on the beach. So,
right.
okay, it's a trade. It's a trade. Yeah, we're a little strange, but so are you. Okay, that's awesome.
Well, that's just one cute little story.
What was the driving force for you to look at something and think about maybe a screenplay or something? What drove you to think about, first of all, welcome to the creative arts community.
Thank you.
Ramen noodles are served every Thursday. No, what made you decide that you wanted to do something with kind of screenwriting?
I think just my addiction to television and, my
would do it.
enjoyment of television. I love watching all these different shows, and, I'm still watching Friends. The reruns.
Don't put
the
any
reruns.
spoilers. Good. You can put them in the comments, okay? But don't no spoilers. Okay.
So I would like to just, give people an opportunity to get out of their normal day and watch something.
Is that the kind of
that's
humor and things that you like? You like that, like
Friends,
day in the life
hilarious,
kind of stuff? Yeah.
Seinfeld and Friends, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
always loved, Seinfeld really popularized observational humor. Mm-hmm. He didn't go for the punchline. He didn't go. It was something that happened, and it was funny. Because that's, I think, so much of what makes us laugh are things that are familiar to us, even in a ridiculous way, which is really kind of cool. What else are you working on?
I'd actually like to work on some historical documents. And
fantastic.
That would be more like this kind of writing where, we would use the Constitution of the United States, which I carry around with me and read it every day.
As one should.
As one should. And write it so that, kids can understand it. Just make it a little bit more, just simpler. Like
A little less heady.
use the actual words in the Constitution, but then explain, what that amendment means.
And language changes over time, and our understanding of different words changes. The way they're interpreted changes. Not just our slang, but our formal language changes. We call it English, but it hasn't been English for more than 200 years now.
Right.
It's a very an extremely different dialect than actually the Queen's English would be.
Yeah.
So as language changes, it's important to teach the kids how to interpret those words.
Yes.
Because those words will be interpreted over and over again, always with a wink and a nod from our modern perspective. Mm-hmm. And we have to actually look at the way our founders used a word.
Exactly.
Or omitted a word. And in many cases, they use a word, and we think, gee, wouldn't this be a better word? And we have to stop and think about why you're right, it would be a better word for our modern interpretation, but why did they choose not to use it? Why did they choose to use this word instead? I tell people a lot of times, in great example, the word providence is used multiple times throughout the course of our founding. It's a unique word because we know that our founders were primarily monotheistic faiths. Mm-hmm. So why would they not just use, they use creator once, they use providence many times. Well, why didn't they just use the word God? And it's not too much later that you realize that while they were all monotheistic in belief, they were also part of the Enlightenment era. And so it was very, very common for the word providence to be substituted because so many different religions were popping up, and they were all using the word God with a capital G, and they were using it to refer to differing belief systems.
Right.
And so our founders went to the nearest word that would mean ethereal creator, and providence was the nearest one. So language changes, and to be able to look at the Constitution with modern eyes and say, oh, this is why this is there.
Exactly. And I know it's an old document, but I think that it can be interpreted in a more exciting kind of, get the kids into it kind of way. So being targeted towards young adults,
That's fantastic. I love that.
6th grade to 12th grade.
That is fantastic. Well, welcome to the creative arts community. We wish you the very best of luck. You're going to have a ball. We don't make any money, but we have a lot of fun. But please, guys, you can look for this because this just looks like, that's just fun.
Search for that.
You just buy this for one of the kids. And don't tell them why. Just let them open it. And they'll look at it and they'll be like, thank you. They won't know what to do. This is one of those gifts that you give to someone because you want to see their face. Because they know they're supposed to say thank you, but they're not sure what this means. So we will say thank you to our partners and friends at Famous Faces and Funnies, JBauerArt for all the art that's on our set, Space Coast Comics, Brevard Film and Talent, Mommy and G Creations for all of our merchandise needs, and we want to thank you for subscribing. I'll thank you once again. Thank you for hitting the notification bell so you can come back over and over and over to see who we're hanging with next. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was fun.
That was fun.